All right, hello everyone. Just saw on the Public Test Center forums that they decided to patch and go live on the Public Test Center today. So I had not planned on doing this. I figured it would be on Friday, but they said they have added Jedi Sentinel. So what I'm going to do is just jump up and take a look at what is available. Let me know if the audio levels are okay, and we will get rolling. So first thing, it looks like they wiped the test server, which is quite common. From what I've read so far, they still have Jedi Guardian. So if you want to get up and test Jedi Guardian, you still can. But they have added Jedi Sentinel, so we'll take a look at that. The other thing that I read is this test is going to work the same as the last, which means the combat styles system is not fully implemented. They're going to give us some predefined characters, and they just want to get the test of the feel of the Jedi Sentinel. So I think it's going to be very similar to the last test, but we will just jump in here and see. So let's go ahead and create ourselves a new character. Nothing crazy here. We'll make him skinnier. And let's give him head 1. We'll give this guy some scars. I usually don't do scars. That doesn't look too bad. I think we got an orange. Nope, no orange. Yeah, we'll go with that one. Yeah, let's give him green eyes. Green eyes, there we go.
May the Force be with you.
Yeah, we'll throw a beard on him. Oh, that looks nice. And
I've dedicated my life to serving others.
There we go. All right, let's jump in and see what we've got here. So I'm guessing, I have not read very much. I haven't read any of the feedback yet. We're going to go ahead and skip that. I'm guessing this is going to work very similar to the last test. We're going to spawn at our starting location. We will take a droid to fleet. We will go into the area that allows us to update our character, and then we will see what actually happens. So we're going to skip all the story stuff here. Real quick, I'm going to make, looks like the interface is still set up. I'm going to jump over and import my key bindings so that everything works the way I want. All right. So the first thing we've got to do is we've got to get off of Tython here. Is my sprint working? Sprint looks good. And then down over here, there should be a droid. So if you are getting on test, don't take, and travel over and do your normal stuff. We're just going to go straight to fleet here. All right, so things that I did see in the dev notes, they mentioned that they have improved the companion. So they're not giving you a level 1 influence companion anymore. I don't know if they've done anything with gear. I believe they have also fixed the problem where interrupts and your stun breakers and stuff like that were missing before. I didn't read if they fixed you have to click the droid twice to get your skills, so we will do that just to make sure. But we'll just do a kind of a quick look through here. I will post in the video version anyway. I will post a guide that I wrote for the Jedi Guardian, where if you can't get 306 gear when you first start out, you can actually just keep getting gear and slowly raising your level. So first off, let's take a look and see what's in here. So it looks like we have got Guardian, Juggernaut, Knight, and Warrior. That takes you to Onderon. Okay, so here's the Sentinel equipment. That's good. And I'm going to guess maybe here. Let's see what this guy says. Okay, so that is Watchman, Concentration, and Combat. So those appear to be Sentinel. Is there another droid for the... Oh, I'm not a Guardian. So what I would guess then is if I created a Guardian character, clicked on this droid, it's going to give me the Guardian specializations. Okay, that makes sense. I'm just going to go with 3. And what this should do... Okay, so it looks like this is working the same way. I did look at this in the forum earlier. They did a better job this time of outlining what all the skills you're going to get. But just as a disclaimer, the system, the way it's supposed to work, at least to our understanding so far, is as you level up, you'll be able to choose between different skills and passives. There's a lot of hotly debated pain in that particular system right now, so we're kind of waiting to see. On Test Center, and just for these preliminary tests, they're giving us pre-canned builds. So they're giving us a A build and a B build. So we don't have all those choices, but we will go ahead and choose A here. Okay, so what happened? So we're going to get a bunch of spam here. It looks like it filled up that bar. This is a good sign. It looks like it filled all of that up. But just to be completely sure, we will go back in. We'll choose 3 again. We'll choose A again. Okay, it appears they have fixed that bug. So in the first test, it wasn't giving all the skills. This time it does. Definitely looks like it's giving all the skills. So that's a good sign. Also 1,000,000 credits for every time that you do that. So if you need money, you can. Okay, other things I want to check out. We're just going to click through some hotkeys here. Okay, the K key still doesn't do anything. That's where our utilities are. I believe they posted in between the tests that the utilities are going away. The new system is going to be how things work. It looks like in my abilities, I just have a Sentinel section, so I don't see a Jedi Knight section. Again, will this be the final version? We don't know. Somewhere there is going to be a window that will allow us to actually train. This is a Jedi Knight trainer. He doesn't do anything. I know in the last test I even pulled out my Hut trainer, and that didn't do anything either. So that system doesn't seem to exist. Okay, so let's get over here. We're going to come over here to Sentinel. Now, something that was happening in the original system. Let's come over here first. Weapons and accessories. This was working. So you'll notice that's a 306. Those are 306s. If I come down here and I grab some relics. Let's get the focused retribution. I like that one and that one. So this is all 306 gear. Now what was happening in the first test is when I would come over here.
If you have a starship capable of transporting supplies,
sorry about that. Hopefully that's not too loud. If it's too loud, let me know in the chat. I can turn the game volume down. So what was happening is, looks like the Dashing Blade Master. So let's grab a set of Dashing Blade Master gear here. So I'll move these out of the way. So what was happening is if I look at my character sheet here, you'll notice that I have an item rating of 1. That's because my original gear is crap. I've leveled up to 75. And the way that the chests and the loot boxes work is based off of your gear rating, it gives you gear. And what was happening is giving us 270 gear. So let's see if they have fixed that. So Dashing Blade Master. Let's just grab a set of this stuff. Okay, so they still haven't fixed this. So here is it's not really a bug per se. But what's actually happening is it's looking at my gear rating. Even if I equip these 306s, I'll do that real quick here. Even then, my gear rating is only 111. And so what's going to happen is this gear is rated at 270. If you are going to come up here and test for what they are trying to test for. So the purpose of the test that they have stated is they want you to figure out, does the Sentinel and the Guardian now feel like it does on live? With these new skill sets, these new skill trees that they put in. Again, they've pre-picked the skills, but they're trying to get a feel for, does this feel right? A problem I think that was happening is if I equip this gear, we'll go ahead and throw all this new gear on that I just got. So if you're playing live and you have a fully 306, you know, with augments and all that kind of stuff in, here I'm sitting at a gear level of 245. Let's grab a couple weapons. Need a couple lightsabers here. Looks like... Is there a different one for the offhand? War leader. Okay, there's a offhand. We'll grab that one too, just to be sure. Okay, so let's throw that one on. Throw the offhand on. Okay, so I have a gear level of 283. Now, 283 is not bad. It's not bad gear, but if you're used to 306 and the stats that give you, plus all your set bonuses and different things like that, that might have an impact on how the game feels to you. I'll give you the brief version of this. If you check my channel, I actually have a long video where I walk through the entire process of what I'm about to tell you. But now that I've got this set of gear, right, I've got my 283 gear. If I come back and I buy that exact same set of gear, right, this is the same gear I just purchased. There we go. Well, that belt's extra. That's okay. But now if I look at this gear, you're going to notice it's 281 gear. And so what you have to do in order to pull this off, let me clean this out real quick just so we get same for same gear. So I'm going to grab that dashing set again. So dashing, there we go. Dashing. Okay, so this is the exact same gear I just bought that was 270. Now if I equip this gear and I throw this gear on, you're going to notice that I'm now 288, right? So instead of, we'll switch this back real quick. Instead of 283, I do this and I get 288. Now I have to do this for my weapons as well. So now my weapons are 270. So I usually would stand about right here. I would come over here. I'm going to buy a new set of weapons. So we'll get the Force Master lightsaber and the Force Master Weapon Master, whatever. Now you're going to notice that these are now 286 instead of 270. If you watch my gear rating, I equip those. Now I'm up to 290. And essentially, and I'm not going to do it here, but essentially now I just keep going back and forth, because now if I buy another set of the gear, you're going to notice that we'll buy all this gear again. Now these are 287s. And you just kind of keep ping-ponging yourself back and forth. And that works up to about 298, 299. At that point, you start getting gear that's right at the same level. So if you already have a 300, you might get a 300, a 299, you might get a 301. And so then I start, let's pretend I'm at 300. Then I would do something like this. I would just buy a whole bunch of these, and I would go through, and it's like 288, 285, 288. There's a 289. There's a 290. And I would try to find the highest ones. So we'll take that 290 and throw it on. And you slowly work your way up that way. Like I said, I did a whole video where I went through that entire process. There we go. And so that's up on my channel if you want to take a look at it and watch me do it. But it's pretty straightforward. Okay, so that's the first thing I wanted to check. It doesn't look like they have fixed that. So let's go ahead. And the other thing that they said they have fixed is companion levels. So the other complaint that a lot of people had was, you want me to test this? Well, I have a level 50 influence companion, and now you've given me a level 1 influence companion, and he's not healing me. He's not keeping me alive and stuff like that. And so they said, at least in the notes that I saw on the forum, that they have raised that level. Now, what does that mean? I don't know for sure. So let's go take a look. And so far, beyond those changes, they've added Sentinel and hopefully this little change. I haven't read anything else that is new or has changed. So it doesn't look like the system actually is in place yet. And they said so. That's nothing that, while we're here, let's go ahead and grab Oh, let's see. There's a mount. We'll grab that mount. I don't remember which one of these is the trainer. If I can find it real quick, we'll grab it. Oh, we'll grab him as a companion just to see if those companions are leveled up as well. It would have been right around the Hut Cartel, right? Early access. Yeah, I can't remember which one is the trainer. I would guess the trainer is not going to do anything since the one on Fleet didn't do anything either. Yeah, it should have been in by now. Oh, let's grab the jetpack. Where was the jetpack? I'll grab him as a companion too. Yeah. Okay, we'll do this one more time. Strongholds. Nope. Nope. Subscriber. I'm hoping. I would just grab them all, but it fills up your inventory completely. And then you have to come back and do it again. So trying to not completely hose up my inventory. There he is. Grab him. Okay, so we'll throw him out. So, yep, nothing implemented there. Again, not a surprise. Okay, so next thing you're supposed to do, then you're supposed to come over here. You take this little mission that basically gives you a speeder. It gives you a companion. So we'll accept that. Okay, so that's a little disappointing. He is better. He has rank 11. But like I said, a lot of us are used to our level 50 companions. And so, having this is, I guess, a little bit disappointing. Sorry, I missed the chat. Are those all the abilities on your toolbar? What spec are you? Combat. So this was Combat A. So we'll go through the abilities. You got your Strike, Blade Rush, Force Leap, Blade Blitz, Clashing Blast, Zen, Precision, Lance, Force Might, that's Blade Barrage, Introspection. Then we've got Zealous Strike, Force Kick, Valorous Call, Saber Ward, Cyclone Slash, Force Sweep, Dispatch, Inspiration, Rebuke, Twin Saber Throw, Resolute, and Heroic Moment. That's just what it is. Okay, let's grab Nico here. See if they're any better. Okay, so they're still level 1. So it's better, I guess. I would have hoped for higher than level 11. That's a little disappointing. The other thing, which I'm sure also hasn't changed, is because this is test server, I don't have any of my legacy. Because all my legacy speed and stuff is not over here. And I don't see anywhere where I can buy up the speeder piloting. But let's see how bad speeder piloting is here. I'll grab these, throw them down here. It was pretty horrible in the first test. It feels better. That actually does feel faster. So hopefully maybe they improved that. Oh, that's a legacy perk. Move wall. That doesn't feel bad. Okay, I'm usually running my jetpack, so I'm going to grab... Oh, sorry about that. Flinging the thing around. Let me grab the jetpack, because I'll have a good feel for if that is faster or slower. Because this is the mount I normally use on live. Okay, let's grab that one. Put it in the right slot. Oh, sorry, my hotkeys on my keyboard don't work because it doesn't see the test center. Yeah, that feels better. Okay, so another thing that they fixed is this was like so slow in the last test. So I think they've upped it to speeder piloting 5 most likely. That feels about the same. Okay, let's see. For you just popped in, let's go ahead and I'm not going to take the time. If you do want to jump up here and play and test this out, like I said, make sure you gear yourself up. You know, even this gear at 291 isn't everything. These are all 306. You don't necessarily have to augment, but I've got that guide up there on the site to walk through that. But let's go back to Fleet real quick, and we'll take a look at some of the other ones. Do you have one you want to look at? Either Combat, Watchman? Which one do you like? So the skill tree does not exist. There's no UI interface for the new skill tree. So what they've done, I'm going to just grab a browser window here and slide it over here. So what they've done is they've predefined at level. So for the different, so here's the Watchman thing, right? At level 1 through 5, they're just giving you these, and those you wouldn't be able to choose. And then at level 10, you gain these. And then after that, the way it's supposed to work is you choose one of these 3. That being said, the way they're doing it on test is they're doing an A build and a B build. And so they're predefining what you get. So right now we don't have any choice on what we actually get to choose. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab a image here. I mocked up what visually that would look like, a skill tree would look like. So let me jump over there. Let me grab an image here real quick. And I'll show you what my interpretation of it is, but this is just me. Let's see. We need Legacy of the Sith. Combat styles. There's my PTS stuff. Okay. Let me go ahead and grab this one. Okay, so this is my mock-up of, in general, visually, what will this system look like. So you get those first 5 abilities, right? So if we open that back up, so that's these first 5 abilities here. And then after that, you gain abilities, you get choices, you choose an ability or a passive. The thing that's really gotten people upset is down here, where you have to choose between abilities. So if I go over, and I've only built these for Guardian, this is one of the Guardian builds that they had up for the last test. So you can start to see, like at this level, if I wanted Saber Throw, I couldn't choose these passes. And I could only choose between Saber Reflect, Blade Blitz, and Annure. They have not said that this is the final version. They've said this is just a test, but this has actually gotten people pretty upset of like, I don't want to choose between the abilities. I want all those abilities. And so if you this was build A, I believe that they put up for 1, and this was build B. And so this is kind of what your new skill set is going to look like. At most, you're losing 4 abilities. At least you're losing at least 2, at least in the test version. Now, again, the caveat there is this is by far not finalized. So this is just something that I put together to try to visualize what's going on. But yeah, so this is the structure. Now, what will the UI look like? I don't know for sure. So, okay, let's go ahead and jump back in. Combat would be cool. Okay, so there's two different versions, and they will give us a choice between different skill sets. So let's get back upstairs here. The nice part about test is you can just reconfigure yourself as much as you want, and it's not that big of a deal. My hotkeys aren't working. It's amazing how much muscle memory kicks in when you're used to hitting a certain key. The profile on my keyboard doesn't recognize Test Center, so I'm going to have to fix that. That's on me. Okay, so if I come to this droid, it's going to give me, okay, you can choose between, your different things here. Okay, so combat. So combat's what I picked first time. So this was combat A. So what we'll do is we'll come in here. We'll choose combat again. And we will give combat B. So this should give us a different set of skills. Because again, I can't choose anything right now. So let's see what this popped in. We've still got Strike, Blade Rush, Force Leap, Blade Blitz is still there. Clashing Blast, I think, was there. Zen, Precision, Lance. That's just put that down there and get out of the way. Blade Barrage, Force Camouflage. I don't think that was in the last build. Zealous Strike, Force Kick, Valorous Call, Saber Ward, Cyclone Slash, Force Sweep, Dispatch, Inspiration, Rebuke, Twin Saber Throw, and Resolute. Let's jump back over here. So this is on the forum. So if we go to combat, that's concentration. Okay, so here's the combat spec. Again, all combats will get these. Then you have the A and B builds have these. So let's go down to this. So this is the same level where the Guardian last time had to choose. It looks like you have to choose between Blade Blitz, Guarded by the Force, and Force Camouflage. So those are your options at level 70 if they keep it this way. I'm not overly familiar with the Sentinel. Is Guarded by the Force a passive or is that a skill? I don't remember off the top of my head. It says reduces damage taken. So if it's just a passive, I would count this as at least somewhat of an improvement over the last time they did this, because that means it's only choosing between 2 skills and 3. But I don't remember what Guarded by the Force, if that's an active skill or a passive skill. Let's see if there's anything else that stands out here. Okay, so we've got Zen Lance or Puncture. We've got Slash or Blade Barrage, Valor Blade or Defensive Flourish, Swiftness and again, these would be available in the full version. For the test, they've just predefined A or B. Looks like everybody's going to get Twin Saber Throw. So something that they did do last time that I'll bring this back up. The light blue are things that every Sentinel will get. Right now, these names are the old Guardian names, so I apologize for that. But so what that means is at level 1 through 5, you'll get these. At level 45, 55, and 75, all Sentinels or all Guardians would get those abilities. These are the only ones where you'd have choice, where you've got multiple things listed. There. Okay, 50. Like I said, I don't know the Sentinel well enough to know which ones of these are active skills. A lot of these feel like passives. So Blade Blitz is obviously a skill. Force Camouflage is a skill. Now, also, we are capped at 75, so none of this stuff will be in there either. So keep that in mind as well. They haven't given us level 80 yet. Okay, so for a quick recap, and go ahead and throw any questions in the chat if you've got questions or you want me to look at something, I'm happy to do that. But for a recap, what is different and what is the same? So this is the second phase of testing. In the first phase, they put up Jedi Guardian. They put up 3 different specialties. So they put the DPS and the tank, the 2 different DPS and the tank versions up. And it worked the exact same way as this. You had an A track and a B track in either one of those. In this test, they have said, at least in the text, that still exists. So I'm guessing if you create a Guardian, come to the same droid, you should get the 3 Guardians.
Dantooine needs your help.
Sorry for that.
If you have a starship capable of transporting supplies or
I'll mute her real quick. So if you're doing Sentinel, they've added the 3 different Sentinel builds. And again, you can switch between them at will. So if I come in here and I want to do the Watchman, there's an A and a B build. If you go to the forum, check on the dev tracker. Again, this will give you the list of what's in the A and B build. So if I choose A, then again, that completely redoes my skill sets. It appears that they have fixed the bug that would not give you all the skills the first time, so you had to go through it a second time. So that's good to see. They have raised the companion level of your ship droid from 1 to 11. That'll make life a little bit easier. It would have been nice if, let me look, I guess you could go and buy some gifts off one of the gift vendors and work the companion up if you want. It would have been nice if they would have done that a little bit higher. Once you get that, you come over here and you've got 3 different vendors here. Vendor 1 is for your earpiece, your implants, and your relics and weapons, offhands and main hands. So you can get those. Remember that the weapons and the gear is going to start out at 270. If you want to get 306 gear, you just have to keep buying and swapping gear, and you can get there. I put a video up on how to get 306 gear if you want to take a look at that. The nice part is you don't have to do that with these. These start out at 306. So you buy your weapons, you buy your gear, you fill yourself up. What I would recommend doing is start something here at the top where it's nice and easy to just grab the full set, keep swapping. Then once you are at 306, if you actually go and find the set of gear that you want when you buy it, for the most part, you're going to get 306 gear. I think when I did it in the video, I've showed the entire process. It's like 5-6 minutes that it takes to get through that. Right now, yeah, the legacy stuff, they're not allowing us to copy characters up to the test server. So there's no real legacy stuff. So like if I do heroic moment right now, you'll notice that it triggered, but none of the skills come up because the PTS doesn't see that I have completed all the different characters. So none of that kind of stuff comes up, nor does the perks and the character perks and the account perks. Because that makes life a lot easier. Just this one alone, like running and mounting while running, I miss that so much. Okay, so if you play the gear swap game, just keep swapping gear, get to 306. Then you'll take this droid out to, you can go play anywhere, but Onderon is where they're kind of doing stuff. You go to the vendor there, or the kiosk, it'll give you a speeder, it'll give you your level 11 companion. And again, what they're asking us to do for the test, and they've said, this is not we're not showing you new system, we're not showing you loadouts, all the stuff that I want to see. They're basically trying to get people who play Sentinel to come up here and try it out. Does it feel right? I think this is a critical point in that they need to hear from the player base, yes or no, this doesn't feel right. Because I believe that things like this does not make it work, right? Like if and this is the Guardian version. If I had to choose between these skills, is that as powerful? Now, a couple of things they have posted since the first test. They are in the process of taking skills and combining skills together so as to not lose some of that power. I don't know if that's going to be enough or not. But if you are a Sentinel player, your feedback is very important. Come up here, if you have access to the public test center, play it and write a thoughtful post. Just as speaking from a development side, I saw a thread today where somebody was complaining about their feedback got deleted. And that's not something that a developer wants to do. And so the reply from the developer was, we did save your feedback, but we deleted your post because your post violates the terms of conduct on the forum. And now I didn't see the original post, so I'm only going by what the developers posted. But basically it said, when you give feedback, don't threaten the developers, so you're going to get, if you want to help the game, if you want to make the game better, write smart, constructive feedback. Don't just say this is stupid and I hate this game now and you're going to ruin it and it's horrible. Come up with like, hey, when I'm doing raids, I use these 2 skills all the time, and I'm concerned that that's going to make me ineffective, or it's going to make me not be able to do and play the way I like to play. And then be specific. Be specific about it. Name the skills. Like, I don't use Blade Barrage, but I do use this. And again, I'm not a Sentinel player. I play most of my time on my Commando. So I don't have a lot of specific feedback for this. I will admit, I wish they made it easier to test like for like. Again, things like the droid not being fully up to level 50, not having my legacy skills, all the stuff that I'm used to having can automatically make you feel weaker than what you are on live. And so I do think that is a concern as well. It's good that they tried to address the droid. I wish that would have improved. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in the gear. So now that being said, I didn't go up and write that up as feedback. So that is probably something I'm going to do. I'm going to write up feedback of like, hey, it would make it easier for me to test if you would just give me 306 gear. I shouldn't have to go through 7-8 minutes of click, buy, swap. Now, the nice part is it's funny. This is a little side bug that I found interesting. Let's go to this one. Like if I buy this arm guard for 1 credit, I can sell it back for 14,000. So, you don't lose money doing it, but it's one of those, it's like, I just want to get to the testing. So make it easy for me. So that's kind of my feedback on the system so far. I don't see, again, and they said this on the forums, they said, this is basically, we're putting up the Sentinel now to do the same thing we did with the Guardian. So if you are a Guardian player, get up there, play it, and let them know with some constructive feedback of what you like, what you don't like. I would guess over the next couple of days, I will go through and read through the feedback. And if there is something I'm not seeing or something that I missed, I will go ahead and either make a video and or live stream again, like on Friday or Saturday, to kind of pull that. But this very much feels like a rinse and repeat version of what they did for Guardian. The last improvement. Can I find them? I don't remember the names of the stun breaker and the interrupt. If you know what they are, throw them into chat. But they said that in the last test, they didn't have those. They weren't available, and that kind of upset people. So I'd like to verify that they're actually here before I give them credit for fixing that. Reduces damage. Inspiration. I just don't remember the names of the skill. Yeah, they haven't done any of the UI for the new systems yet. Force kick, right? Okay, force kick. So yeah, force kick was there. Okay, yep. So there's the interrupt. And I'm guessing if that's there, they fixed the stun breaker. Now, just as a note, in one of the forum posts, they did say that their plan is to completely revamp the stun and interrupt system. So that's why they weren't in the last test, but they've added them back because that's not done yet. So I don't know what's going to happen there. Yeah, no UI changes. It's mostly just here's a pre-built Sentinel or 6 pre-built Sentinels, pick one and go out and test it out. So, I'm still waiting. I'm so excited for the loadout system and the actual selection of things. So, all right, I will wrap up here with, again, this is my interpretation of the flow of the system. You get these 5. Some of these levels you don't get a choice, like level 25, 40, 45. Anyone that has 3, you can choose 1. They have said that this replaces the utilities, so like the 9 utility system. So in this case, what you would do is instead of picking utilities, you're going to pick between these passes. And if you look at the names of the passes, for the most part, you're going to see like here you get Zealous Leap, and then here's a modifier for Zealous. This does something with Blade Storm, I believe. This does something with Blade Barrage. So, your choices seem to be, do you want to improve an existing skill or do you want to pick up a new skill or a different passive for the most part? But again, this is mine. I built this. This isn't anything that they have provided. Let's see. Last time it went up on the 9th and they closed it down on the 22nd. So it was up for 2 weeks in the last test. So I'm going to guess somewhere around the same. I would guess it'll be up for the next week and a half, 2 weeks. I don't know for sure. I haven't seen anywhere where they've actually said we're going to keep it up for X amount of time. But my gut would be it'll be about the same. So I would say probably 2 weeks for how long it'll be up and running. It will take a little bit of patching. If you haven't run tests before, it'll take a lot of patching. If you have, I think it took me like 8, 9, 10 minutes. Probably 2 to 3 gigabytes of patch data came down on this last patch. All right. Well, I don't really have much else to show. Thank you all for joining me. If there's anything that you do want to see, go ahead and throw it down in the comments, and I will spend a little more time digging around. Like literally, I got home from work, patched the game, fired it up, and looked at it. So I haven't had any time to really dig into anything that they are doing outside of just reading through the dev posts in the forum. If you want to check out, like I said, I did a complete walkthrough of how to gear yourself to 306, that it can be very helpful in this system for testing. There are 6 different Sentinels and 6 different Guardians available in this test. And the main goal they're trying to do is figure out, does this feel similar to what's on live? So if you play Guardian or play Sentinel, go ahead and jump up and do that. Other than that, let me know if you've got any requests on anything you want to see, and we'll go ahead and call it. Thank you so much for joining me in this impromptu, unscheduled PTS look. If there's more stuff, I will schedule another one over this weekend. Other than that, have a great week and weekend. Do all the normal YouTuber stuff, like, share, subscribe, and let me know if you guys want to see anything else. Thanks. See you guys.